This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven son. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching or participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Thursday night, January the 6th, 2022, our first show of the new year. Coming to you in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, as he always does. He's a little more zoomed in tonight because we had to bring him in a little bit differently tonight because Skype didn't want to really work for some reason all that well. It is deep. He's deep. He's got that in deep. Deep in that underground bunker in Center County, Pennsylvania. The one, the only, the non-genetically proven son. How's it going? How was your New Year?
Woo! How was my New Year?
Yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah?
I got treated with the first week of the, second week of the new year, getting slammed with work.
Oh, poor child.
Hey, getting up at 5 isn't always the most enjoyable thing.
That's true. It's not. It's not.
Taking out the trash isn't enjoyable either.
Well,
throwing away 65 donuts isn't enjoyable either.
Get used to taking out the trash. You are the man. It should be the man's responsibility to take out the trash until the child gets old enough to take out the trash. As was my responsibility growing up.
Take out the trash.
Take out the trash. And when you lived in a house with a bunch of people, there was a lot of trash. Now, where I live, I barely fill up half of a bag in a week.
Right.
But back then, it was, sometimes 8-9 bags in a week you're dragging out from the back porch over to the curb.
Well, yeah, when you have 6 people in the house.
Yeah.
5 people in the house.
6. Yeah. A lot of trash. A lot of trash. But we're not here to talk about trash. Well, in a way, we are. So I'd like to start by wishing everybody a happy Insurrection Day.
Woo!
It was 1 year ago today that then President Trump, greatest president we've ever had. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Thank you. Had a speech where he told his followers to peacefully go down to the Capitol and make your voices heard. And yes, he did say the word peacefully.
And patriotically.
And patriotically. That is correct. And then all hell broke loose once we got down there. I have my opinions on how that happened. I think it was a setup. The FBI was involved. Good old Nancy and the police chief of Washington and the mayor. There was a request to have the National Guard there at the start of it. By our president at the time.
And 6 times from the police chief of D.C.
Yeah. And, it never happened. Yeah. So it was a setup. So this morning at a little after 9 a.m., our Veep, the one that likes to, spread her legs, meet me at the Y. Hey, if you don't know how she got her first job, look up how she got her first job. The mayor, the married mayor, got her a job in the DA's office. And her career started. Yeah. She compared January 6th to December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001. You notice all three ended with a 1. Maybe there's something about years that end in 1.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, Ms. who gets her jobs by spreading her legs. There's no comparison. How many people died at Pearl Harbor? A lot.
I don't know. A lot.
A lot. How many people died on 9/11?
Like 3,000.
Over 3,000. How many people died on January 6th?
Like 3. 1.
One that was attributed to the insurrection. And she was a insurrectionist who was shot. Ashley Babbitt, if I remember her name correctly. Some policemen tragically died that day due to heart attacks, but you can't necessarily contribute them to the events of that day. You can if you want, but there's no primary linkage of that. So I don't know who the Veep thinks she is. There is no comparison. When you look up Kamala in the dictionary, it says noun, and then it gives a one-word definition.
Oh?
It's a 4-letter word. Begins it with C, rhymes with hunt. We've discussed that word before. We use that word. We reserve use of that word for only special people. Doesn't matter if they're male or female. I've been known to call men that too. And then Grandpa Joe got up and gave his speech, and he basically, blamed the Don for the entire events of the day. Now, I'm not going to rehash the election of 2020. You have your opinions. We here at Phatts TV have our opinions. Whether we agree or we agree to disagree, so be it. But in the state of Pennsylvania, which Biden carried, when the state Supreme Court rules that signature verification is not a reason to throw a ballot out, that's awfully fishy to me. Never before have you been able to, forge somebody's name basically and have that vote count. But in the last election, it did. thanks to the democratically controlled state Supreme Court. So, you may want to call it a legal steal. I'm fine with that term. I'm fine. But there's no way that idiot got 81 million votes. It's not possible. It's just not possible. I mean, let's face it also. We as Pennsylvanians do not have a very good track record in having presidents from our state.
Wait, what? James Buchanan?
Who basically caused the Civil War.
Yeah.
And Grandpa
But,
Joe.
Yeah, Grandpa Joe.
And Grandpa Joe.
We don't have very good presidents from this state.
No, we've had two of the worst, if not the two worst.
Phatts.
You need me to run for president to resurrect the image of Pennsylvania.
Free beer.
Who would vote for me for president? Well, thank you. Is somebody else there? Did somebody else there raise their hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would actually vote. I guess so.
She can't move back to Hawaii because Hawaii's a lost cause.
You're not even going to campaign there.
Well, yeah, hell, I'm going to campaign there. It's because it's nice there. I'll campaign there like the last week of October. It's nice. I mean, I'll have the election so sewn up.
Try to go into the safe grounds.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Christ. Just on name recognition alone, I should win.
Oh.
But could you imagine me? We've had this conversation on this show. Yeah. On our... Thank you, Josh. Josh would vote Phatts for president. We've done about somewhere between 130 and 140 episodes now, and we've talked about me running for president before.
Well, we have.
There would be no COVID if I was president, because COVID, let's face it, would be afraid of me.
What are you, Oh, what's his name?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, we're going to have free beer, free hookers at the White House.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, there's other presidents did it with a big block of cheese. Why can't I do it with beer and hookers? And they wouldn't necessarily be from the Skook either.
Oh, there you go.
Well, the beer might be. They make some good beer in the Skook.
Do they? Do they really?
They do. Yingling is a pretty good beer. Yeah. Speaking of COVID.
The common cold.
Yes. So there's a lot of bad shit going on right now. Once again, leaders of the free world, supposed free world, are using COVID to take away the freedoms of the citizens of their country. God help the people that live in France. Basically, that idiot Macron, whatever the fuck he calls himself over there.
Yeah.
Basically said, I'm going to take away the rights of all the unvaccinated people until they get vaccinated.
Interesting.
So basically, it's going to come down to, I hate to say this, at the most extreme point, either you're going to get vaccinated or you're going to lose your life. So, we all know what happens over in France when the people get upset.
They
Do we have to go back and start talking about the Visigoths?
Yeah, you know all about the Visigoths.
I know all about the Visigoths.
And why it caused the French Revolution 800 years later.
That's right. Deep in the heart of the Rhineland. The Visigoths. I really hope they were from northern France. With me just saying that. But I'm pretty sure they were. Australia, forget. Australia's fucked. They're not even allowing Djokovic, or however, how does he pronounce his name? Novak Djokovic. To basically play in the Australian Open because he's not vaccinated.
Yeah, the Visigoths are from, like, southern France down to southern Spain.
All right, they're not from the Rhineland.
No, they're south of basically where, like, when the Vikings settled.
Got ya.
In France, like, pretty much right below that.
So the Vikings are from the Rhineland.
Yeah.
When they conquered the area. They're not originally from the Rhineland.
No. They were given it.
They were given it.
They were given... What the hell is that freaking area called?
He may have learned this from his, like, YouTube for Dummies videos
You know what?
that he watched.
I may have.
Hey, those are some good stuff. If you really want to learn stuff, those are actually some good things to watch. It explains history and some really... We're going to give a plug. What are those things called? We'll give a shout out to them.
Oversimplified.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, but what's it like... If you wanted to find it, what would you search for on YouTube?
Oversimplified... Battle of Hastings.
Okay, so it's like... One. So it's oversimplified and then whatever you're trying to look for. And it really...
Stuff. They have an hour of Cold War stuff. So if you want to know about the Cold War, there you go.
Yeah.
They do have a French Revolution thing on there, too.
Ah, I bet it doesn't go as far back as the Visigoths.
No.
No.
I don't think it does.
So it's not that oversimplified. So Novak can't play right now. He's like being held up in some quarantine hotel or something like that.
Well, in Australia, if you have COVID, you go to like a work camp or whatever.
Yeah, it's like seriously, it's like what's happening to the freedoms? And I'm afraid of what's going to happen here. So tomorrow, our Supreme Court hears arguments for the vaccine mandate for the workplace. Yeah. And it should be a slam dunk.
Should be.
I don't think it's going to be.
Why? We have an advantage.
No, we don't. We have jack shit. I can only count on 3 solid conservative votes for this thing.
Okay.
Alito, Gorsuch, and the old guy.
Interesting.
The black guy. What's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't think of his name. That's horrible.
Amy. You know, the newest one.
I don't trust Barrett. I don't trust Kavanaugh. I don't trust them. Because some of the things that they're going is, what? I don't trust the Chief Justice as far as I could fucking pee on him. It should be a slam dunk. We have freedoms in this country. You do not have the fucking right to force me to put a fucking experimental drug in my body. You have no fucking right to tell me that.
By the way, the black guy's Clarence Thomas.
Yes. You have no fucking right to force me to put a fucking experimental drug into my body, and if I refuse to do it, to take my livelihood away from me. You have no fucking right. Simple. We could go back to after World War II to the Nuremberg trials. Because that's what Hitler used to do to the Jews. This is easy stuff. But I don't fucking trust the Supreme Court. I think they're just as corrupted as the executive branch and the legislative branch. I really do.
That's not good. If they're the most important part of this, because everything can go through them, because they're supposed to understand the Constitution and just follow that. Period.
Yeah.
There's no opinion in it. At least there shouldn't be.
Yes. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope and pray I'm wrong. But I think there's a better chance that abortion gets outlawed this term in the Supreme Court than this vaccine mandate gets shot down. I really feel that way. And I so hope I'm wrong.
You would think it should be 9-0 basically.
Yeah. Because there ain't no fucking way nobody is forcing me to put that fucking thing into my body. We just had this week another soccer player die at 25 of a heart attack during training. How many soccer players have now died?
I don't know.
A handful at least.
Like 3 or 4.
Or have collapsed during the game.
Well, that's at least 3. Couple people retire.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have heart problems.
Right. There is something going on with these vaccines and athletes' hearts. And for some reason, it seems to be hitting soccer players, football for Europeans, soccer for us Americans, harsher than everybody else. Maybe that's because they're constantly running the entire game. Maybe. I don't know. You know, football players don't run the entire game.
I would arguably say soccer is harder. You have to be a lot more endurance for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's got to be all the running.
I mean, basketball really doesn't run. I mean, hockey, you're off the ice more than you're on the ice.
Right.
Tennis, you run. You run a lot the entire time.
Yeah.
And certainly some tennis matches last longer than soccer matches do.
Most of them do.
But there's something going on with this. Whatever vaccine they're getting shot up with, whether it be the Pfizer, the Moderna, the Johnson & Johnson, or the other one that's not even approved in the United States, over in India, something is going on. But you won't hear the government tell you that. No. Oh, no. Everything's peachy keen. But yet the government will allow Pfizer 75 years to publish its results. By the time Pfizer is required to publish their safety and efficiency test, just about everybody who watches this show could be dead. I'll be dead. I'm eligible for AARP in less than 6 months. I'll be dead in 75 years.
I could be dead. I'd be 97.
Right. Are you going to remember if you're still at 97, you're going to remember, oh, yes, Pfizer, yeah, let me read that safety and efficiency study from back.
I don't think I'm going to be able to remember that.
What's that say? What's that say? Fuck Pfizer. 75 fucking years. It's a fucking joke. Everything's a fucking joke. Kamala, you're a fucking joke. Grandpa Joe, you're a joke. Our government's a joke. France is a fucking joke. Australia's a joke. Canada's a joke. Britain's a joke. You're all fucking jokes. Germany, you're one of the worst. You're a joke.
Go Sweden.
Yeah, go Sweden. It's time for the rise of the common man. Told you. The same professor that taught me about the Visigoths in college. See, that piqued your attention.
Yeah, dude.
Told me the next world war would not be between country and country, be between haves and have-nots, and I fully agree with it. Because that's what's gonna fucking happen. What?
People versus the government.
It needs to happen. There's way too much fucking corruption going on in world government. They want one world fucking government. Right there's your fucking one world government. Two world government right there. Double fisted.
Yeah, you can talk about the guy that was arguing with me on Facebook yesterday.
Some guy was arguing with you?
Oh yeah, because they were posting. There's articles coming out about Penn State students are signing a petition for them to rethink starting in person.
Oh, because they're fucking afraid of having a cold.
It was like it had like 1,000 whatever. Some guy commented like, "Yeah, this is a good idea," and I just said whatever. And eventually it got into money. No, because he commented something about it, and then something else about how college should be free anyways. And I was telling him, no, I don't want to be paying for other people's college for the rest of my life. He's like, fine, you pay your college for the rest of your life. And I'm like, I'm going to be able to pay off my college within 5 years of me graduating, right? And he thought I was lying. I mean, like, no, definitely telling the truth.
I mean, if you get a good enough job, yeah, 5 years, probably closer to 10, but...
Okay, but 10?
Yeah. Yeah, why? Because you had a parent, we won't mention any names, who saved money into a college plan for you for the vast majority of your life.
And another thing he said, because eventually he just said, I'm glad you trust in yourself more than I trust in your ability to complete a grammar error-free sentence. I forgot a word. It was auto-corrected. So, he gave up. I got a lot of likes on my comment. Where is my first response? What did he say? I said, if you're smart enough, you can come out of college with little to no debt. And I'll have my college paid off before I'm 30. Then he said there's a lot of free things. Germany has free public colleges, but feel free to spend the rest of your life paying off your education. Well, look how Germany's doing. They're doing great. Peachy. Peachily shit.
You should have told him then move to Germany.
Yeah. Move to Germany then. If you want
to. I'll start a GoFundMe for you to move to Germany.
I like how he picked Germany of all places.
Yeah, it's weird. Normally they say Canada.
Yeah, they do. The next topic.
Let's talk about a war.
What war?
This upcoming Monday.
Oh?
We got number 3, Georgia.
Number 3, Georgia.
Going up against number 1, Alabama. The college football finals.
Not like we didn't call this final freaking week 1.
Pretty much. I would give ourselves a pat on the back, but
Oh, that's a tough one.
we really didn't go out on a limb to call this one.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
But we did call it.
Yeah, it's started 95% of the college world.
But we
Ohio
did
State,
call it.
That was like the maybe. But Michigan looked great against Georgia. You know, they scored 11, and 7 of those were kind of gimme points.
By the way, so we didn't have a show last week because I came down with an infected tooth that had to get extracted on Thursday. And so, obviously, I was in no shape to talk on Thursday.
Yeah.
Which we probably still should have had a show because, that would have been funny.
It would have.
Advice to people: don't get an infected tooth extracted. It fucking hurts.
Yeah.
It really fucking hurts. Like I've had Novocaine shot up in me several times in my life. It's never bothered me once. Well, even the fucking Novocaine needle fucking hurt like hell. Fuck, did that hurt?
Yeah. I can imagine.
Ugh. Not as bad as the first time I had kidney stones. I will say that.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, let's not ever go through that again.
Great way to start 2021.
2020.
2020, yeah.
Yeah.
January 1st, 2020.
Yeah, bad things happen to me at the end of the year / beginning of the year. It's like we're having really bad luck that last week, first week. So we didn't have a show then. So I'm in a couple football pools, and one of them is you have to pick just the winner of the team, and you have to give them confidence points. So I told the non-genetically proven son, I said, do my pool for me.
Right.
And he didn't do bad. Like, I finished, I think, tied for 49th out of, 80-some people.
Okay.
But looking at your picks, once I was with it and gave a damn and went and looked,
Yeah.
you gave Georgia, 5 points. A confidence level of 5? A 5? And then, you gave, Ohio State, 14, and you told me you didn't know who you were going to pick in that game, but you gave it a 14.
Okay, I thought Georgia would win, but I wasn't sure what Georgia was going to show up.
Right, but you you said to me, I don't know if I liked Ohio State or Utah, so I gave them a 14.
But I looked into it, and I got it right.
You did. You got it right.
You're welcome.
You got it right.
I lost a bet in that goddamn game.
There were 2 picks that I completely and utterly disagreed with. That if I was with it and really cared last week, I would have changed. But it wouldn't have given me enough points to be in the money.
Right.
And for some reason, you took Carolina over New Orleans. I didn't understand that at all.
What did I give it?
I like a 10 or something like that.
Oh.
But the one that really, completely just blew my mind, you took Cleveland over Pittsburgh. Dude, Big Ben's last home game, and you're going to take Cleveland? What? What the fuck were you smoking?
What did I give it?
Like an 8 or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, no. There was a third one. And you took Old Miss.
Yeah. SEC, come on now.
If you recall, going back to when the football odds first came out, I said to you that was one of the games I didn't understand. I didn't understand why Baylor wasn't the favorite at the time.
Yeah. Ole Miss, if their quarterback doesn't go down, they win that game.
They still lose that game.
No, they win that game.
They still lose that game.
They win that game. They lost by 14 with a backup quarterback.
That's right, and I had the under.
You want a cookie?
In the Phatts Phantastic Phive, which we had to publish online, I had under 58.
I'm not happy with Ohio State.
You
So
won.
at the first half, 35-21 Utah. Defensive game.
Yeah, very, very defensive.
Utah's quarterback goes down. I took the under for the second half. I was getting another 5 touchdowns. Figured they're going to play a little bit better. And Ohio State's defense decided to play a little bit better.
They did.
Then they decided to give him a freaking 50-yard touchdown to a backup quarterback.
Yeah,
And I lost the game because of it.
yeah. I'm not
What
sure.
the hell?
Why didn't you take Ohio State to win it outright when they were down 14 at halftime?
You know what? I know. That was dumb.
Yeah.
I probably should have just did that because you knew they were probably going to come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should have just did that because you would have probably got plus like 200 on it.
Probably.
300.
Not 300, but you'd probably got about 200.
200.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one other thing before we go back to Georgia, Alabama. For those of you that haven't been paying attention, Penn State's quarterback of the future is down at some pro thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, no.
And I've been watching videos of him. Fuck is all I'm going to say. If he's not the starter game 1 next year, just like I've said before, James Franklin better be fucking fired right before they call play 2.
Yeah, he looks good, and Shingleton has some freaking to it.
They are throwing, he is throwing dimes. Like pinpoint 50-yard dimes. Like, it's unreal. I'm going to call it right now. They are 4 players away from winning the national championship.
4 linemen,
Yes.
a left tackle, a right tackle, a left guard, and a right guard.
Yeah. I mean, they get an offensive line. Assuming he doesn't transfer out because he won't play next year because Clifford will play.
Yeah.
They are an offensive line away from winning a national championship. Book it right now.
Yeah.
He looks phenomenal.
Him and Shingleton does too.
Are you watching these videos that are getting posted?
I've seen them.
Unreal. I don't know what that goddamn thing is on his back. I don't know if that's supposed to hold a football.
I don't know.
But there's this thing like flopping around on his back. But yeah, I've seen a couple of Singleton's runs. It's not like they're trying to play defense though against the run.
But he can get the speed so fast.
Oh yeah, yes. But on the throws, the wide receivers are being blanketed. Like they're like really trying to cover the wide receivers.
Yeah.
And, oh my god.
Now imagine if we still had Dodson.
Fucking Franklin probably started him over Drew too. I tell you.
We have them two. And then their sophomore year, assuming they're still here, they have big tight end coming in. I think he's like 6'7", and another 4-star receiver. And ideally, if we have a good year, more 5-star players.
Yeah, I mean, I want Drew to start next year, but if he's fine taking a red shirt, I don't know why he would be fine taking a red shirt.
Yeah.
Unless if he looks at that offensive line and says, yeah, I'll stay healthy for a year.
Yeah, because the offensive line.
I mean, their blocking is atrocious. Like
I couldn't even watch the Arkansas game. I fell asleep in the fourth quarter.
All right, on to college football. So,
the good offensive lines. That's
who's winning? And you said you had 3 plays.
All right, I'll go with the plays first.
Okay.
So we'll go with I think my easiest play. Georgia to score first. You're laying a bit. You're minus 127. You're laying a bit. But I like that one. I like him to come out, probably get a field goal first. Now my other one, Georgia first half minus 1.5. I like that one. I kind of like a slow first half. By slow, I mean like 13-10.
That would be slow.
And then I like Alabama's team total over 24.5.
Okay.
And I like Alabama in the game.
Oh, you like Alabama in the game?
They have superior coaching. Period. I think the teams are. I don't know. I just see it as so equal, and I think it's just going to come down to that one play.
So, what does the line have to be for you to place a bet on the game? At Barstool, it is at 3 at the moment. Which it was sitting at 2.5 all week. It's now at 3.
In Georgia's favor.
Yes, yeah.
So I like Alabama. I give me 3.5, and I'll take Alabama all day.
All right. At 3, would you put a little on the money line then?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, if Georgia loses this game, it's because of Kirby Smart.
Yeah. I just said Alabama has such superior coaching.
Yes. This is the first year this year that a former assistant coach for Nick Saban has beaten Nick Saban. That was Jimbo Fisher for Texas A&M.
Right.
Other than that, he's never lost to an assistant coach. Now, something interesting. There's been 5 or 6 times in the history of college football where teams have met more than once in a season. Any guess how many victories the team that won the first game has in game 2?
Well, Alabama, Georgia. Pretty sure Alabama won both of them. I think. When Tua came in.
Did they meet in the SEC championship game?
Did they? I'm going to assume they did if they're both in the playoffs. Now I got to go look.
You might want to look that one.
At just that year. Like 2016? 2018? 2018? So 2018 SEC. Yes. Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC title game that year, too. So it was at least once. You said 6 times?
Then I'm saying the stat wrong. And it must be something with they met in the regular season or something like that.
Okay, met in the regular season.
But that doesn't make sense either. The stat I saw shows the team that won the first time has never won the second time.
And you say that about the NFL as well when... Well, it's 3 times. it's really hard to beat a team.
Yes. Well, it's happened a lot, so I don't know what the stat is that I saw. Here, hold on. Oh, when top 5 teams play each other twice in a season.
Okay.
So this will be the 5th time, and the team that won the first game has lost the second game by at least 21 points all the time.
Wow. Well, Georgia's not going to win by more than 21 points. I can promise you that.
So, I said, if you recall, that I thought it was going to be impossible for a team to beat Georgia twice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay with it. I'm not going to flip flop. But I do agree that Alabama has the coaching matchup, but I still think Georgia has the edge in talent.
True, but talent doesn't always win.
Well, true. But I think Georgia's defense is much better than Alabama's offense. They couldn't get the quarterback down in the first game, and the quarterback kept scrambling around and making plays.
I think if Alabama gets a passing game going, it may not even be a question.
Right. No, that's yeah. Like if
they could, because I think they could beat Georgia's secondary.
If the quarterback has time and he could scramble around, yes, he's going to make plays again, just like in the first game. I'm counting on Georgia not giving him time like they did in game 1.
That big guy, I forget his name, but
yeah,
he's like 340 pounds.
Yes. So I'm going to go with
the Dogs.
33-20.
33-20?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't think Alabama's defense is really anything special.
Wow.
And you have what?
28-27.
Oh, you have a close game.
I do.
So you have Alabama, I have Georgia. Hey, we finally disagree on something.
You have the Dogs. I got the elephant. Roll Tide.
You and Zombra.
Huh?
You and Zombra.
What, is he like Alabama too?
Yeah, he's a huge Alabama fan.
Ow. Ooh, I'm not an Alabama fan, that's for sure.
So let's go here to end our night.
Hey, this is good. I like this. Woo!
So for those of you that didn't get to see my post, here are our picks from last week. Now, the week before, the non-genetically proven son went 3-1-1.
Yeah.
And last week he had Ohio State's team total over 33.5. Winner, winner.
Easy.
You had Philadelphia minus 4.5.
They won by 4.
You had
They
Arizona.
won by 4. Wait. They won by 4. And in the fourth quarter, they're inside the freaking 20 twice and settle for field goals.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
Should have won that game.
You had Arizona plus 6. They won outright.
I figured they would.
You had New England team total over 28.5. They put up 50.
That was the easiest pick of the year.
And you had Green Bay team total over 27.5. They scored 37.
That they did.
So you went 4-1 last week. So 7-2-1 over your last 2 weeks. Very good.
Woo!
We're gonna give you a clap for that. For me, 2 weeks ago, I went 2-2-1. I took one because I had Hawaii in that game, ended up getting canceled, so I didn't pick another game. If I did pick another game, though, the non-genetically proven son knows I took Miami, and Miami would have won. But instead of taking a win, I'll take the push. And last week I had Baylor, Mississippi under 58, which was a winner. I had Houston, San Francisco under 44, which was a winner. I had Arizona, Dallas over 51.5, which was a loser. I had Denver, LA Chargers under 45, which was a late loser. And I had Pittsburgh plus 3.5. So I went 3-2 last week. So that puts my record at 43-46-1. And the non-genetically proven son is 39-49-2. So there is a chance you could still beat me. You'd have to go 5-0, and you'd have to hope I go 0-5.
Yeah.
But you've made a good comeback over. Actually, you can't beat me because we have one pick that's the same. So I've locked it up. No wins for you this year after kicking my ass last year.
I did.
All right, so here's your picks. You got a Saturday night game. You got Kansas City team total over 28.5.
Yep. They're playing for the 1 seed.
They are.
So I think they're going to try.
Yeah.
Because you need the 1 seed to get a bye.
You do.
I don't know if they win, they're guaranteed it, or if Tennessee is the tiebreaker.
Tennessee just needs to win to get the number 1 seed.
Okay, so, but they're still obviously going to try. And
well, yeah, that game's Saturday. The Tennessee game's not till Sunday, so
you don't like it because they're playing the Broncos, and the Broncos play them tough. Well, the Broncos suck.
They do. And
they're playing with a backup quarterback.
Yes. If I'm betting this game, I'm taking Denver. Getting
Kansas
11 or
City's
12
gonna
points.
get the ball a lot. They're going to score 5 touchdowns.
Let's face it, going up to Mile High in January is not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, it's going to be 65 degrees.
Okay.
At night.
Okay. You are jumping back on the bandwagon. You have New England team total over 23.5.
Hey, this could be one of the hottest offenses in the league right now.
It could be.
And they're playing the Dolphins.
Yes. Who are playing for nothing.
They're also playing for the division.
Yes.
They gotta hope Buffalo loses to the Jets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the Jets somehow have been putting scares into people. The Bucks.
Yeah.
The Bucks. So, you never know.
You never know.
I think 23.5 is kind of ridiculously low for a team who doesn't care.
Okay.
Miami. Against a team that doesn't care. So, you're gonna tell me they have to get 3 touchdowns and a field goal in the game? Yeah, they'll get that.
Okay.
Don't worry.
You have Green Bay, Detroit under 44.5.
Yeah, I was in between taking Detroit or taking the under. Personally, I think Green Bay just kind of wants to play the game and get out of there. I'm sure Detroit might agree.
Yeah, the question is, all right, Green Bay doesn't need to play its starters. They've got the number 1 seed wrapped up. Their coach came out and said, I'm playing our starters. I don't think he's going to play his starters very long, though. The worst thing you want to do is have Aaron Rodgers, who's basically on a bum toe all year, get hurt in a meaningless game. You know, we've had this conversation about college players playing meaningless bowl games when they're going to be a first-round draft choice. I think if you're a college player, you are an idiot to play in a bowl game when you're going to be a guaranteed first-round draft choice. But it's up to you. And if you make the decision to play, hey, great. But if you make the decision to sit out, I don't like it when people complain because a college player is deciding what's best for him and his family.
Right. Ole Miss quarterback.
Yeah. And there was a Wake Forest player who got carted off, too, during the game. So, I'm going to take their coach's word that the starters do play, but if they play longer than the first quarter, I would be surprised.
I was going to say the first drive, 7-0. There it is, right there.
Could be. You have the team total over 29.5 in the Indy-Jacksonville game. I can tell you right now, I do not like this pick.
Why? Indy needs to win. And they're playing the worst team in the league.
What do you think the odds are if I tell you Jacksonville has beaten Indy the last 6 times they played in Jacksonville?
You're probably going to tell me they have. Just because you said that.
How many wins did Jacksonville have last year?
1.
And who did they beat?
Indy.
Week 1 in Jacksonville.
That's funny.
There is something about Indy going into Jacksonville. They stink up the joint.
Well, they need to win to make the playoffs. They are going to win. Because they have a chance at a 10-7 team to win the Super Bowl.
There's always that team just about every year that needs to win and doesn't win. Could this be that team this year?
Indy just need to win to make the playoffs. Yeah.
Yes.
So they're good. If you can't beat a team that literally just runs the ball because they don't want Trevor Lawrence to get hurt,
and their starting running backs out.
Exactly. If you can't score more than probably 10 points, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
It seems too easy to be true, does it not?
42-3 final score. Take my word for it.
Does it not seem too easy to be true that Indy is going to run up and down the field on Jacksonville? You froze. Lovely. He froze, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we could get him back. His internet must have went down. So we'll give him a couple minutes to get back. But as I was saying, it seems way too easy that Indy's going to run all up and down the field in this game. There's always that one team that only needs the win to make the playoffs every year, and for some reason they come up short. I would not be shocked No, you're going to join us, huh?
Relax.
Now I gotta set you up again. So let me get me off the screen.
I don't.
So I'm going to sound all official here for a second. In our pre-production meeting, do we have such things? But in our pre-production meeting, I did say, if a team is getting more than 3 points in that series, it's an automatic play for me.
Yeah.
Automatic.
And you didn't play it.
I did play. I told you I played it.
That'd be funny if you didn't, though.
Well, you just have to wait to find out. So your picks, once again, are Kansas City team total over 28.5. New England team total over 23.5. Green Bay, Detroit under 44.5. You got lots of halves. Indy team total over 29.5. That's a loser. Pittsburgh plus 6.
He just a loser right now.
I'm not going to say Indy's going to lose, but don't be surprised when it's a 13-10 ball game. That's all I'm going to say.
So if they score 50,
then I'm wrong. Then I'm wrong, and I admit that I'm wrong. Lord knows I've been wrong plenty of times in my life when it comes to prognostication of betting. All right. Had no volume there for a second.
Nice.
So Pittsburgh plus 6, Minnesota minus 5.5. I wanted to put Georgia there, but that line went up to 3. I'm not going to play it at 3. If it was still 2.5, I would have put Georgia here at 2.5. Minnesota just got done beating Chicago a couple weeks ago. Now they have them at home. They've already said they're playing their starters. They have nothing to play for. Chicago is back to starting Fields. We all know how I feel about any quarterback coming out of Ohio State. They have a long track record of sucking ass.
They do.
It's amazing. Justin Fields is just the latest. San Francisco plus 4.5. San Francisco just simply beats the Rams.
I like this pick.
Now, I'm a little concerned who the starting quarterback is going to be for San Francisco. But there's teams that just have certain teams' numbers. San Francisco is one of them. They have the Rams' number. They've beaten them 5 straight times, most of the time as an underdog. Well, looky here, they're an underdog again. They need to win if they want a chance at the playoffs. The Rams need to win, or else they could end up losing the division. I'm not going to say San Francisco is going to win, but they're not going to lose by more than 4. Next pick is easy. Indy Jacksonville under 44. You just heard me say 13-10. I was actually torn on what to bet here. I was going to take Jacksonville team total under 14.5.
Okay.
Because I don't see any way Jacksonville getting more than 14.
No.
And then I looked, and at Barstool, the line was 13.5.
Oh.
I probably still should have played it. Just in case I'm wrong and Indy puts up 35 points. But they're not. They're not. I'm telling you right now, they're not. Daniel's pick of team total over is a loser.
He is calling me out here.
I'm calling you out on your pick. It's going to be a loser. And whenever I'm so sure on a pick, I normally am the one that loses.
Exactly.
So you should feel confident.
I am confident.
And my last pick, speaking of team totals under, I have the Giants team total under 15.5. They're starting, I don't know, like an 11th string quarterback who has a quarterback. Guess what his quarterback rating is this year?
22.
No.
6.
Exactly.
That's not good.
Find out who's starting at quarterback for the Giants this week.
Giants.
But I heard it today. His QBR for the year is 6.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Let's see what good old Stat Fox has to say who's starting.
You can get tickets to the game.
Jake Fromm.
Who?
Jake Fromm.
Who?
Where's Jake Fromm go? Where did he play his football?
Jake Fromm.
I really hope it's Ohio State, but I'm sure it's not.
He played at Georgia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He did play at Georgia. He was the quarterback when they lost to Alabama in the national title game.
Yeah, and he was drafted in the 5th round by the Bills.
Yeah, and he's been on practice squad after practice squad after practice squad. Well, now he gets to start for the Giants.
He's a better quarterback.
What?
Trace McSorley is at least a backup to Kyler Murray.
With his QBR of 6.
It's good.
6.
It's higher QBR than I can get.
So, what are they going to do? Run the ball. What's the one good thing Washington's defense could do? Stop the run. Under 15.5 team total for the Giants. So to recap, I got Minnesota minus 5.5, Pittsburgh plus 6, Jacksonville plus 4.5, San Francisco plus 4.5, Indy Jacksonville under 44, and New York Giants team total under 15.5, and that is this week's. And for the last week of this season, Phatts Phantastic Phive.
Maybe we can start picking basketball games.
Sure.
Just pick against Penn State and you win.
Hey, they won last night.
They did.
They were down by 10 in the second half, and they came back and won.
Yeah, we played Northwestern.
And they scored in the 70s.
Yeah, I know. 74. And they beat Indiana, who's beating Ohio State right now.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to predict. They will at least have the lead late in the first half on Saturday.
I can agree. Then they lose by 15.
So, there's your play. If Penn State is winning at halftime, play Purdue in the second half.
Let's remember Purdue is a top 5 team. Not that means anything in basketball. Really, men's basketball. In women's basketball, that means everything. But in men's basketball, that literally means nothing.
Yes. So, it's time to end the show. I'm hungry. I've not eaten dinner yet. Some nights this week, this has been my bedtime. But not tonight. So, you have anything else you want to say before we call it a night?
Roll Tide.
Okay. I will say happy Insurrection Day. Have a great week and whatever your endeavors take you. Watch out for any bad weather, especially if you're in the Northeast. Supposed to get some snow tonight. Is it snowing there yet?
Yes.
Supposed to get some snow tonight. Possible some freezing rain Sunday. So, be safe. And we will see you here next week, assuming I don't get any more infected teeth. Happy Insurrection Day. Kamala, close your fucking legs. You smell like a fish. See ya.